Hello and welcome to AOPA Live. I'm Alyssa Miller. After 34 hours of training in a Redbird full motion flight simulator and crosswind trainer, Abraham McIntyre, Executive Director of the Bahamas Methodist Habitat, is transitioning into a 172. He's part of an experimental program at Redbird where he's doing all of his training in a flight simulator, including a mock check ride, before getting into the 172. Abe, how's the training going so far? I know you mentioned in a note earlier that it was a roller coaster of a week.
Yeah, it's been, of course, with the highs and lows, but I'm definitely on part of the high right now. So very exciting. And Josh Harnagle here at Redbird said, I came in a few days ago and it was just, he said, you look rough. I said, I feel rough. I said, it's just not clicking right now. And he said, well, he goes, that's just what everybody goes through. Everybody hits a plateau basically, and you learn and you learn and you learn, and then you just kind of stop for a little bit. So kind of push through that, and things are much better. And of course, we just got back from my very first flight about 15 minutes ago in a real live plane, so not sitting in a dark simulator. So things are good right now, very good.
Good. How was the mock check ride? Did you have butterflies going into it?
I did. It was a little. It was with my second instructor, and I hadn't flown with him in about a week, so I kind of get a little nervous about that, but not too bad. But my two scores kind of were I was doing well, and I did actually I had two check rides, two mocks, and it was a doing well and you're doing good. So I felt obviously pretty good about that.
Good. And what was the flight like today in the 172?
It's a lot bumpier, a lot more obviously realistic, and just the simulators. It's just, I think I mentioned this in the other interview. It's just they're two different machines, and so they feel differently. Just like a Baron feels different than a Mooney, and things like that. And so the 172 obviously feels different than the simulator. And they actually had a kind of discussion about it this morning, and just by FAA regulations, it can't be as just straight up realistic, or there's got to be kind of a space in between there. And but being able to feel the difference in the turbulence and the power, when you actually push in the power, then you feel that, and you feel the vibrations in the plane and everything. So just a really neat, neat feel and a neat transition. But definitely a totally different experience from the sims. Okay.
And what was it like looking outside and down actually to do your maneuvers and orient yourself?
Oh, it's it's not totally different. One of the great things is it's gorgeous. So we got to fly over Canyon Lake, which is just off the west of San Marcos. So flying over that is absolutely gorgeous, and actually to see the different elevations, and we're right on the edge of the hill country, so that's really pretty. And so just everything kind of pops out. Obviously the simulator, there's no real elevation, there's no real relief that you see. It does a good job, but it's just it's the greens are pretty and the blues are pretty, and then to be able to have full kind of vision looking over, and not just the the 6 screens that you're looking at, but to see a lot more, made it a lot more. Things kind of really came together in that way, and says, oh, this is how it's supposed to look. And even on my on the landing, being able to see the runway earlier and be able to set up for final and things like that made it a lot easier.
And how were your landings in the 172 compared to the simulator?
We had a crosswind today, and John kind of pulled it in for me. So he took over about 300 feet off the ground, and which I was okay with, for my first one. But we actually, just after this, we're going to kind of do our debrief, and then we'll go out and do another flight this afternoon. So hopefully it'll be able to land this one myself. But it, even the ground effect feels a little bit different, and just floating in obviously feels a little bit different. But I think it'll be a good transition.
Great, wonderful. Well, what's next on the horizon for your training this week?
A whole lot of flying. So as long as we have beautiful, beautiful weather out here, and we're just hoping and praying that stays true for the rest of the week. And basically, we'll be doing at least 2 and probably 3 flights a day, about an hour and a half apiece. Get in hopefully 5 landings, 5 or 6 landings, and then the goal, kind of right now, is to be able to have our flight, have my solo on Thursday afternoon. And so that's what we're hoping for.
Oh, great. Well, Abe, best of luck with the remainder of your training, and we'll check back in next week to see how your progress is going.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you all very much. And yeah, it's awesome. It's a whole lot of fun, and to be able to get out in the real world is such a beautiful thing.
Great. Thanks everyone for joining us, and stay tuned for the next update from Skyport in Texas.